Hello everyone. Today we'll have an interview with an amazing guy. His name is Saul and he is a deaf psychotherapist. Oh yes. I see you, Saul. Good morning. Could you please send me a request or just send? If you see the request, please accept it and join the meeting. Hello, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, so exciting to be here with you today. Do you have my voice? Is it okay?
I hear you loud and clearly. Thank you.
Great. Okay. Today we'll have an interview with Saul Fred, and he is a deaf psychotherapist. So exciting and interesting and inspiring. And we will be with him and to ask him about his journey and um, the life, his beautiful life. So, can you take us back to the moment when you first realized you were deaf, or anything about your childhood which you like it to explain for us, and briefly introduce yourself, please.
Okay, great question. So, hi everyone. My name is Saul, and thank you, Guta, for inviting me here today. So, definitely a hard question because I was only 2 years old when I became deaf and hard of hearing due to meningitis. So, I don't really remember when I may have noticed I was deaf. That being said, I was brought up through my parents through the choice of auditory verbal therapy and fitted with hearing aids. And I do remember that they had to oblige me to wear the hearing aids with like a three-wheel motorcycle or something. There's three wheel for kids. So I
Oh,
remember that cute memory, and that once I got that, I had no problem putting on the hearing aids.
great.
That being said, many years later, I woke up one day when I was 15 years old, and the hearing aid no longer worked. And so I had to get a cochlear implant half a year later or learn sign language. And I had chosen to, at that time as an adult, young adult, to get the cochlear implant. So it was definitely scary to wake up one day and no longer hear, even with hearing aids. And having been brought up to speak and to hear, and having dreams at the time, such as to be a veterinarian, that how can I live in this world without any hearing?
Yes. So you mentioned about auditory verbal therapy. Can you explain it a bit for our audience?
So basically, as a kid, for many years, 7 years during the school year, once a week, I would see a therapist who happened to specialize in deaf and hard of hearing children, and they're all deaf. And his name is Warren Esterbrooks. He's retired now, but I'm one of his babies. And basically, I would meet him once a week, and I would sit next to him in a chair at a table, and I would be asked to repeat basically everything I heard or that he would say. And so it was a way to not just learn to hear, but to also work on pronunciations and learning vocabulary and everything.
Mm.
And the most important thing is the fun that was had during these times, such as playing games such as Guess Who, or playing with little toy animals, or just sharing about life and stories with them. All that being said, the work continued at home. And by that I mean, in this case, my mother would also have to learn to work with me. So in a way, my own mother became my hearing and verbal therapist as well.
Mm,
And so I remember my mom cutting out cards with vocabulary words on it, one word per card. So then in
mm,
a way they were like flashcards, and that was to learn particular groups of in language, whether it's groups of animals or groups of colors or food, and you name it. So over time, there would be thousands of cards as my language developed and grew. But I would have to work at home, and so the lesson never ended.
yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you. And you are so successful. You are one of the very rare people that you actually, despite all the challenges that you have had in your life, now you have reached everything that you wanted, I think. And you are now a psychotherapist, just helping other people in their journey, life journeys. That's amazing.
That's right. Even though my childhood dream was to become a veterinarian, and I still love and passionate about animals, I
Mm,
ended up going into the field of psychology and have enjoyed helping others with their life stories and to inspire them and to help them with their challenges as every day there's challenges, but every day can also be beautiful.
great. So, what was your goal when you decided to become a psychotherapist?
I decided to become a psychotherapist after spending 2 years in Scotland studying veterinary medicine, and unfortunately it didn't work out, but I'm still
Mm.
proud of myself
Oh,
for going overseas and doing the best I could on my own, despite all the heavy accents, which were challenging and difficult, even for the Canadian and North American and American peers who could hear. So I came back to Canada and went into psychology ever since at York University.
oh,
hmm
great.
And I would have to say that other people inspire me to go into the field, including my own father was a family physician,
Mm-hmm.
and his sister, my aunt, who's a psychologist in Quebec. And the idea of working one-on-one appealed to me, especially because as it's a controlled environment, I can hear better working one-on-one with others.
Mm,
So I
great,
thought that would maximize my ability to work by becoming a psychotherapist.
great. So, um, may I ask you what was your biggest turning point in your life? Actually, what changed you into what you are now here with us?
Okay. Well, I would like to say hearing has impacted me my whole life and impacted a lot of my decisions. Um, and there are times I would feel sad or alone, but I am also grateful that I can hear and to be able to do interviews such as with yourself and to hear other people and their stories and to
Mm,
inspire others. There's been many life-changing moments, such as when I lost my hearing again at the age of 15 and had to eventually get a cochlear implant. Another life-changing moment was realizing that this is what I want to be when I grow up. So initially as a veterinarian, which helped me to focus on my studies in school, and it helps to have goals, even if those goals don't necessarily come true. They help you get through certain activities and tough moments at the time.
mm,
Other challenges, including for me growing up, has been facing people who don't necessarily believe in you because you're deaf or hard of hearing, or have an attitude or mentality that you're deaf and dumb. unfortunately, and then you just have to prove them wrong and always do your best.
Yes.
And facing discrimination at various points throughout our whole life, whether at school or in the working world, even as well. Or even when it comes to dating people.
Yeah.
So ultimately, turning points is starting to believe in yourself. That despite the being hard of hearing, that you can accept that that's a part of who you are, and that it makes you a beautiful person. And there's nothing negative about it, even though there are people out there that don't know anything about a person who is deaf and hard of hearing, or know or realize that, hey, this individual is actually amazing. Maybe I should take the time to get to know you or connect with you, whether to become friends or work colleagues or any form of relationship.
Great. So we are in an interview with Soul. This interview series of Faranak Impact is done with different people, inspiring people, and it's about their personal journey and insights specifically related to early intervention. So, what does early intervention means to you, and who was there for you actually in early years?
hmm So to me, early intervention means I was able to develop language and to be able to learn to hear right away. And in this case, it was auditory verbal therapy at the age of 2 onwards. And it meant being fitted with hearing aids uh, and having to see an auditory verbal therapist weekly. So during those early years, that was Mr. Warren Estabrook's for me and my mother. Even though family members, including my siblings, had to participate as well as others. And it also meant trying being not being shy and going up to teachers. And I also had an itinerant teacher every week while in public school growing up, and that was also very helpful to know that I had support from not just the teachers but the itinerant teacher and sometimes tutors, as well as auditory verbal therapists and my mother.
Great.
And all these people work as a team to try to encourage you, to remind you that you can have whatever life you would like to have, and
Great.
not to give up and to always do your best and to help you to focus.
Mm. Moms are the best. Always, moms are the best. So, can I ask you what kept you going through the hardest moments?
hmm what kept me going through the hardest moment is to
Moment.
always have hope and to have a dream. So my dream is to work with animals, and even though I don't work with animals per se right now, I at least have a dog, and I have always had a dog. And that having a dog or animals in my case kept me going. That being said, I love other things as well that help keep me going, such as beautiful music or artwork, doing arts and craft and creativity, such as painting or photography, or going out in nature. In other words, finding the joy in life, whatever it is for you. And knowing that those things exist helps me to go on. That being said, it also helps to have people believe in you. And in my case, it was my mom amongst many other people, including friends.
Thank you, thank you. So you are somehow spiritual? Do you like nature or are you spiritual? I see you talked about music, the beauty of nature, like animals, all these things. Okay.
Yes, I do consider myself spiritual and enjoy all these things that life has to offer to help bring peace to oneself.
Great. So, what has been the most beautiful or unexpected gift with your journey?
hmm There are many things, but one of the most beautiful gifts was getting the implant and hearing again after 6 months of silence. Even though it was a very emotional moment, I had tears because it wasn't what I expected to hear, and it took time to relearn to hear, even with the cochlear implant. So, for example, I could not hear my mother's voice that very first day, or the radio in the car on the way home from the hospital. So it took time. But now I'm very grateful because my mom and many others have beautiful voices, and the gift of music is a beautiful voice, and sound in nature, such as birds singing or chirping, is beautiful to listen to.
Great. What an enjoyable interview with you. I am learning a lot. Thank you so much. So if the world could change one thing to support deaf and hard of hearing children and their families, what should it be?
Is to always remember that you're not alone and that there are others in the community, such as Gita and myself, who believe in you, and that it may be very hard and there will be hard days, but to know that you're not alone, to always have hope, and to remember that your dreams can come true and that they are worth reaching out for.
Beautiful. So, what's a dream you have for the next generation of deaf and hard of hearing children?
Mhm. That there be no discrimination and that there's acceptance and love by all through school, through family members, through friends, that nobody gets bullied simply because we're different or hard of hearing or use devices such as an FM system. That we have cool glasses, such as the HearView glasses out there with subtitles on them, live captioning, and that technology continues to improve so that we can maximize and hear the joys that life has to offer.
Thank you. So, it's 20 minutes that we are doing this interview with Soul, a deaf psychotherapist, an inspiring gentleman that I have the honor to interview him. And it's going to be the end of this interview, this beautiful interview. So, may I ask you, if someone is watching you now and is feeling lost right now, what words of hope would you share with them?
Mhm. So again, always remember to have hope and that you're not alone and that individuals such as myself are there for you. So don't be afraid to reach out to as a peer, as a colleague, as a psychotherapist, or as a friend or a mentor. There are others out there for you. So we've been through it all, and now it's your turn, but always have hope.
Great.
And don't be afraid to reach out.
Great. Okay, so if you want to reach out to Soul, you can find the contacts in the caption. And if you want to send us any message, we are open to it. If you want to be interviewed, just send us an email or a message to our direct. And Soul is a great psychotherapist. He accepts different clients, and works in different areas, different fields. So you may just check his website or Instagram page and reach out to him. Great. So, is there anything you want to tell our audience for the last part?
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for listening today, to take the time to listen and to meet me online. And thank you for being part of the Faranak Impact Foundation and believing in this wonderful community and coming together. So thank you for your time and thank you, Gita.
Thank you. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.